Well, good evening. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in, subscribing, liking, sharing, and supporting this channel and Man with the Show. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard to our new latest subscribers. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button and hitting that like. It's very important because I tell you, YouTube don't like us. I don't know why. Because basically, when we talk about things that you, the viewer, wants to hear. Not all this corporate nonsense that they're throwing at you. The Tonight Show, The Late Show, CNN, MSNBC. And we can watch that at any time, even though those shows are all failing. All those networks are all failing. And all these entities, these Silicon Valley, they're all making blacklists of everyone they want to block on there. And, don't think that it hasn't happened. It's happened. There are a lot of them. I just heard this morning, the ADL has put Vincent James on a white supremacist blacklist, that people should avoid him, that he's alt-right and this like that he gives conspiracy theories and stuff like that, where he is given facts and evidence. And he shows it in every show. So, when you get a chance, go over to Red Elephants, smash on that subscribe, hit that like on his end, because he needs some love over there. Because I tell you, when you had an organization that was built on basically defending the American person and American values, now it has turned away from that. Now we need to be part all together as a whole to protect all of us, because we are all together in this. And let me tell you, here's another thing that, that when you're watching our show, and we do discuss these things, and these things coming up. We have talked, the last edition, we talked about the successful Vampirella #1 that has been crushing it in the sales on there, and how the comic book industry is dying out. And I said we need to go independent and underground to rebuild it, because there are those out there that just doesn't like our fandom. And here's another thing on there. We've discussed this many times, and we're discussing about Star Trek, how much Star Trek Discovery has been a just complete total dumpster fire. I mean, it's just literally a scorched earth that you can't put out this fire, because no matter what they've done to it, basically it's just gotten worse. And on top of that, they have a lawsuit pending still from Anas Abin, who has done the video game Tardigrades, which he's suing that elements of it was interjected into the Star Trek Discovery Season 1. And, no matter, I could show you the pictures and stuff like that. Whether you believe me or not, you are my viewers on there. I'm going to tell you, from this point of view, and the evidence is looking good for us on there, is that basically CBS has taken this information from his game and interjected it into the Star Trek. And we're already hearing, what they've done with Brian Fuller. That the ideas that he's taken, and basically what it is, has been interjected in the current Picard TV series. And is he going to get any credit for it? Is he going to get any financial, dollars for this? Probably not. The most is that they'll stamp a little credit on there toward the end or something like that. And still, the series won't do as good. I already see the series is not going to do good, because already the elements that are put in there. And we always been saying this number, 25%. Since the original split up, we lost 25%, and that's basically in the movies themselves. When you look at the movies, you look at the TV series, it's basically, they're not allowed to use a percentage of it. So basically, they have to just revamp the storylines themselves, create new. It's sort of like a new Trek verse for themselves, which is literally a dumpster fire. Now we have the Viacom CBS merger is happening. It's basically going to be signed off. It's pretty much it's done. And, some people say, well, yay, we're going to get that 25% back on the Star Trek, and they'll finally be able to fix Star Trek. No. I'm sorry. I am so sorry to basically explain something to you. And, you might think differently. You might think ill will. You might be upset situation. You'll say, Zane, but they got the 25% back. Yeah, you're correct on that value. But there is something called a contract. When you have Kurtzman, J.J. Abrams, Secret Hideaway, and Bad Robot still have contracts with CBS, Paramount, for Star Trek, which some of it has been put aside, now goes back into effect. Those contracts go fully into effect. So what does that mean? That means the dumpster fire of Star Trek Discovery, the possible dumpster fire, because I can't say yet. I haven't seen all I've seen is the trailer, which I dislike the trailer, of the Picard TV series, and whatever else they want to make is still going to be under this J.J. Kurtzman dumpster fire. They will still control it. If the new president of CBS wants to make the fans happy, I would say cut these contracts. Get rid of them. Destroy them. Get rid of them. Pay them off. Get rid of them. Also, scrap that Twilight Zone series also, just to let you know. Basically, just scrap all these contracts and start fresh. And get people in there that know what they're writing about, that love this series. Because as of now, Star Trek is dead. Star Trek is dead, buried. It just literally, it's underground at this point. As far it is in the dirt, the coffin is sealed. It's just done. And this is not going to save them. This merger is not going to save them. The only way this series will be saved is to get rid of everything that has damaged this series. That is J.J. Abrams, Kurtzman, Secret Hideaway, and Bad Robot. All those parties involved in this debacle need to go. And anybody who approves of it in CBS need to go as well. Because basically, you have a series that you could have taken it to the next level. You could have taken it to the point, let's put it this way. I've discussed Vic Mignogna many, many times. We talked about the lawsuit and stuff like that. Most people have not realized, and I've said this in many shows, that Vic Mignogna created his own Star Trek verse. It's called Star Trek Continues. And it is a great, if you have not seen it, it is on YouTube. I highly recommend it. It stars many great people in there. Some people you may know, some people you may not know. The son of Scotty is involved in this. William Doohan's son is involved in this, and he plays Scotty on the series. There's been many characters from many different Star Trek episodes have appeared. John DeLance, he didn't play Q, but he played another character. It's great. The gentleman, and I don't have his name right now, who played Apollo, rehashed his character on an episode of Star Trek Continues, and it's a great episode on there. They did an episode of the Mirror Universe episode, the Captain Kirk Mirror Universe episode, where you get to see what happened after Kirk and party leave, and the original evil twin versions come back to their universe to complete their mission, and you find out of the beginning of the revolution that you hear that Spock started from the Mirror Universe in the episodes of Deep Space Nine. And there's many others. There's a creature one, which the creature design, and I forgot the name of it. The creature design was phenomenal on there. Yeah, I think it was called "Come Not Between the Dragons," and it was well done. It was very well done. The creature effects, just to see the backlog on the creature effect, and to see the deck of the Enterprise, with the Constitution class, recreated in that warehouse. I mean, Vic did a great job of it. I mean, it is just literally exact. The engine room, the hallways, the individual rooms. But like I said, they're great episodes. The other one we were talking about with the Mirror Universe, that's the fairest of them all. That's the name of the other one. The one with Apollo is Pilgrim of Eternity. And there's some great other storylines on there. I mean, they did a short on the Turnabout Intruder. They hashed one out. The finale was because, unfortunately, of the lawsuit that CBS brought to Boldly Go, which was a two-parter, which also brought back characters from the Enterprise incident. The Romulan commander, it's played by a different actress, come back again to interject to help Spock in the situation, which brought also a story arc from the original called Where No Man Has Gone Before, where basically one of the crew gets turned into with godlike powers. To Boldly Go is a sort of a continuation that basically they've started to create others like the crewman that was changed. And it's it's a two-parter episode, and it's fantastically done. And not to give away the ending on there, the ending is a introduction into the Star Trek motion picture TV series, as you get to see some of the uniforms that are used in the TV series is introduced at the end of this episode. So it's good to see that, because it's a great speech that Vic does at the end to cross over into Star Trek the motion picture. And like I said, this is what the kind of Star Trek that we are looking for. I mean, this is what we've wanted for quite some time. But the thing about it is, we're not being listened to. They don't care about us. They just literally want to interject their apolitical into the show itself. They're ripping off other entities themselves, because they just can't make up a show. Their writers can't write what needs to be a good Star Trek series. This is what's left of the Les Moonves era on there, because he didn't like Star Trek. He wasn't a big fan of Star Trek or anything like that. He didn't care. All he cared was the bottom line. I understand companies got to make their money on that, but if you put in crap that's just going to make you a good amount of money for now, but not far in the future. Whereas, hey, we already know that the merchandisers, the guys who basically put out the toys, the shirts, all the stuff that makes the true money, doesn't even want to get involved with Star Trek Discovery. How much Star Trek Discovery memorabilia have you seen out there? It's not much. There is some, but it's not much. Not like it used to be. It's the same thing with the Doctor Who. The Doctor Who memorabilia hasn't been where they want it to be. The current series, I think the merchandisers are about to have a major revolt for Series 12. We're hearing the lingering and rumors again that Chibnall and Whittaker are leaving the series, because BBC is not making money on this. The only way you're going to CBS, BBC, they're going to make money is that they're going to make money off the merchandise. That's where the money is. The fans. When will they get it stick in their hands? If they want to make money, they have to appease the core fan base. Not the little 1%ers that really don't give a crap about Star Trek. They never cared about this series. They say, we must be diverse. Let me tell you something. Gene Roddenberry was, God rest his soul, was trying to make this diverse. He had women in his TV series, strong women. Go back and watch the pilot. And I'm not talking the first Kirk episode. I'm talking The Cage. Go back and watch that. And that was the one that got refused. They had problems with some of the storyline. They had problems which basically they had a second in command was a woman. This is 1960s, mind you. Yes, they didn't like having a woman as a second in command. That's why when you got into the newer series, you had Leonard Nimoy to be second in command instead of Gene Roddenberry's wife, which is basically she was the one in the series, and she was the one that was second in command. I mean, Gene Roddenberry was ahead of himself as far as making a TV show, whether you like it or not. He was way ahead. How much technology have we gotten from Star Trek? I mean, we've got from MRIs, cell phones, many different devices that we use on a daily basis was created from the idea of Star Trek. And I said this in the last episode. Do you know why The Expanse works? Do you know why the TV series The Expanse works? Is because it's a good story and they use science. They use actual science in the series. That's what you have to be smart about. I remember a time when you wanted to write a Star Trek book, you had to go by certain things. One of the things was the science. You had to make the science that it had to be fixed on, that, even though some of it could be based on, fiction, but it had to be made somewhat believable in the realms of science. And you go to the Expanse, most of this stuff that's on there is based on science fact. They didn't have shield. They had shields and stuff like that blocked. Like when you see a Star Trek, you have the shields and they blocked off the phasers and stuff like that. They were using bullets in the Expanse, and there are scenes where stuff comes shooting through the hulls of the ships. I mean, it's such a great scene when you go see it, and you see you get hit by anything while sitting on your command chair. You're sitting there and everything's coming at you left and right. And basically, when the ship makes its bank turns and stuff like that, you're dealing with gravity forces, which, that is right spot on target when you look at it in perspective. And the other half is if you were born in space, whereas you may say you were Mars or in the belt, and you came to Earth, you couldn't handle the light, the sun, you couldn't handle the gravity. There's points where I know there was some people that were born in the belt, and you see that they were very tall and their bones were very brittle. And when they came to Earth, it was painful, very painful. And that's pretty much almost science accuracy there when you look at it. But when you start to throw things here and there and everywhere that just literally just doesn't make sense, and to just wrap it with a Star Trek logo over it. That's not what the fans are going to look at. What interested me was the way the stories fell through. The characters, the aliens, the ships, everything that was in there, the storyline, the adventure. Roddenberry said this show, when he pitched it, it was Wagon Train to the Stars. That's right, Wagon Train to the Stars. And that's a brilliant way of putting it, is that basically, they were explaining is that mankind has moved out into space and starting to learn more, about themselves, those who live on these planets, and trying to make themselves lives better. And you see that they're just literally just ripping it apart with these series because they just don't understand it. They will never get us. That's the thing. They will never get what we like about this. They'll call us geeks and nerds and fandoms and stuff like that. And we're proud of it. We're proud to have that label. We're proud to have Trekkers, whatever you want to call it, on our chests. Because that's who we are. Whovians, comic book geeks, gamers. We are all that. And basically, we'll always be that. No matter how long we spend, we need to just push these people out. And like I said, we need to start from the underground. CBS has already put a damper on the whole situation as far as Star Trek, because we can't create new Star Trek the way we want to do it on on YouTube and stuff like that, because now they put limitations to us. But we could still do it. Unfortunately, we won't get another Star Trek Continues. But I always say this: you want to make a good series, go speak to Fig Mignogna, or speak to the guys at Axanar. Hell, there's a guy online right now that has created a fantastic Darth Vader mini movie. He's working on the second one. It's going to cost him $250,000 to make the second one. And if you haven't seen it, it is just phenomenal. And they and Disney tried to shut him down. Disney and Warner Brothers tried to shut him down via the music. He composed a sort of different track. It had some of the tones toward, for Star Wars, but in a way it was kept differently, and still they struck it down. If it wasn't for George Lucas, we would still not be able to see it, because basically they wanted to take over the monetary, make money off of this, which was not their project. This is why I say one of the greatest resources to the film, TV, and comic book industry is right here in YouTube. And you guys at Google, Alphabet, YouTube, you all want to stifle us straight from your thrones over at Silicon Valley. You network guys don't even want to hear about us. We can give you the stories you want. You want to make money? Talk to us. We are here. We can give you the stories that fans want. Speak to these guys. They know better. They could be the future that you need to keep your networks going. Because let me tell you something, it's going to be a part. The networks are going to start falling soon. They're going to start falling. Online streaming is going to be a big thing. But the thing about it is, there are not going to be that many things, because BitTorrent is coming back alive again because of this as well. Because there are going to be so many streaming services, and we're going to discuss this on another episode. BitTorrent is starting to come alive once again. So comment below. Tell me how you feel about this. How do you feel about the merger? Do you agree with me that basically it's not going to help? It won't help. I know it. It is in my bones on that. Like I said, the only way you're gonna get any real Star Trek is to get rid of these contracts. Get rid of the J.J. Abrams, Kurtzman universe. Get rid of them completely. Don't forget, we're on mindsandgab.com. We are on DLive. We are on BitChute. If you don't see this video here, come over to BitChute. We're there. Smash on that subscribe. Hit that like. Thank you to those who have, past, present, and those of you in the future. Please do come aboard, because we need your help. That's right. If we are to survive in this apocalyptic future that Silicon Valley has thrown at us, we need your help. And that's the truth. Not only me, guys like Salty Cracker, Yellow Flash, the Normies, Kitten Academy. There are many, many different YouTubers out there with some great shows, some great content. And they need your help as well. So until tomorrow, we'll probably have some more rants, because we got some stuff that's coming across our boards on there. So don't forget, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing here on Cuticast TV and Man with the Show. Until tomorrow, have a good one. Stay cool, or if you're down south, stay dry. Hopefully the rain will stop. But like I said, maybe we'll send you some sun down there, because we got plenty of it up here. So until tomorrow, Have a good one. Live long and prosper.